Health enRich.
Project Perspectives with Dr. Basavaraju.
What are your perspectives on Health enRich?
Yes, Health enRich is not just a product. It's very easy to productivize it. It's an outcome of an idea which is born from a lot more deeper thinking. Now, the big challenge for countries like India is Indian economy is very urban driven. The engine of growth for India is urban areas. So I was very concerned and troubled that we talk of rural development, but we have not brought rural areas and rural people into the economic framework, which is unfortunately driven by urban India. So there are only two ways I looked at it. One, are there any urban products which get manufactured in urban areas, which are consumed by the rural areas? And the traditional thinking of business at the bottom of the pyramid, though I hate that sentence, is looking at rural people as consumers. So I was looking at, in this consumer chain, can we get young rural men and women, tribal men and women, to be part of the logistics of this distribution of these products, in which they can have a share of this wealth creation. But the other idea, which is what I'm now focusing on, is can we look at products which can get consumed by this urban monster, the urban economic monster, which is very consumer driven. Can we create products for them which are actually going to be made in rural India? Is there something which can be made with the skills and knowledge and talent pool available in rural India, which can be sold in urban India? So that is where Health enRich became the product. Now, the beauty of this product is today ragi or millets is becoming a fashion food everywhere around the world. And most of urban Indians want to consume this millet and fashion, more as a fashion statement, but I don't care. End of the day, it's a product I can use. And so we actually try to look at it. And the other challenge I found was millets, though which were grown in a huge way across southern parts of Karnataka, especially ragi, are disappearing today because of a state intervention. In the name of food security, the state is providing free rice. I think it's very tragic. And that is displacing traditional foods like ragi, which are more healthier. And so people are also not growing enough of it. So I thought if rural economies have to be stimulated, if rural healthcare has to be addressed, if rural nutrition has to be addressed, can we think of a product which ruralites will prepare and sell in urban India, and because it's an urban fashionable product, they'll also start eating it. And so that's how Health enRich happened. So the Health enRich promotes rural economies by enabling farmers to grow more of it and sell it back locally and get the cash immediately paid. So they get money immediately, they don't have to wait. The market is very responsive to them because the women pay them immediately. And it's something very easily processable because it's a traditional food items that the women have been making for centuries. So it doesn't need a skill which is very urban focused. It can be run in rural India. So we use that. We use modern methods and scientific methods of processing. We have a local food technology institute in Mysore which has given us the technology, and the women are trained. We package it in such an attractive way that people will buy it. It looks very nice, and so we put out the nutritive content out there, and we're using marketing in urban India. So I think Health enRich, on one side, is a nutritive product. It's a product which assures food security. It can bring back traditional food habits. It can promote local economies. It can create a microeconomic cluster. If 20 women are earning a lot of money locally, they start spending money locally, which means it's going to kickstart a local economic boom in that small area. So my dream is if India can figure out ways to generate such microeconomic clusters, an aggregation of these microeconomic clusters will actually make a huge macroeconomic change. And so to me, beyond the product, it's possibly a hope for India's future growth, where rural India doesn't have to depend on urban economies, but is able to generate economies. The poor should not be seen as recipients of state largis or state charity or NGO charity, but the poor should be seen as people who can be empowered to be part of the wealth creation chain. And so we are enabling people to create wealth, and we want them not just to just be coping with poverty all their lives, but actually get out of poverty and be part of a wonderful wealth creation model. So Health enRich is an idea, it's a theory, it's a product, and possibly a future for this country.
To learn more, visit www.gram.org.in.
To learn more about Health enRich, visit www.healthenrich.in.